So today I have the pleasure of speaking with Andre Blackwell, artist, writer, financial therapist, business person, award winner. I don't know. You probably do a couple other things in your spare time as well. How you doing, Andre?
Hey, what's up, Warren? How's it going, man?
What did I miss out of the list?
I mean, just dream again. That's my brand. That's my trademark. It's a symbol of unity. That's basically the purpose of the brand. I started it back in 2013 as a tax firm. And then over the years, it transitioned into financial literacy and into gaming. We focus on like interactive tools, comics, books. We got the Dream Again console. We got the Dream Again comic series. We're about to drop the Chosen One Dream Again manga next month. It's going to be two different versions, so we got a lot in store. So we just keep building all different type of properties. That's our focus.
It's so cool. So going back to I think you were an orphan when you were 8 years old, right? And then is that what really was the kind of what's your motivator? Because obviously financial literacy is super important for folks, for any folks. But tell me about your story and your kind of your why.
My why, the purpose of this brand, it's just a representation of the rural area. I was orphaned at 8. Saw my father one time. My mother died in a car accident on 95. I feel like I never gave up. I always stayed persistent and focused on like the next thing. My adolescence, it was ups and downs. I went through depression. I had drug problems. I grew up in a rural area, so and then I moved. So I started focusing on school and athletics, and then it got me on a better path. Becoming a financial therapist, I had to revisit my childhood, so I had to go back and remember a lot of things of like how I was dealing with money, how people was giving me money, things of that nature, and I had to unlearn and relearn a lot of new things. So over the years, just like education, experiences, things like that, picked up and try to implement it in my company.
I love it. So people say, oh yeah, I'm going to write a book or I'm going to do a comic or whatever. Like a lot of people talk about that, but how did you get that? How did you get that from vision to actually something that you can hold in your hands?
So I'm not really a good drawer. I can sketch very well, pencil, light sketch. My son draws better than me. He got a lot of pictures up in the house right now.
Oh, that's cool.
On the fridge and everything. He's going to be good. I'm a little jealous. I only can sketch, but I sketched a lion, a black lion, and I called it Pop. It was like a symbol of my son. I got a white tiger, which is Sin, which is my other son. And then I made those two characters. I just looked at them, and then I was like, how can I make a story out of this? After that, I found a team that could create the vision. Lisa, she was a great add-on to the team. She's the art director. She do all the illustrations. She approves all the art. Everything pretty much goes through her. She does all the illustration for the book. Kelsey's my 3D director. She's about to go to Reno Silver Age Comic just to pitch and talk about the comic as well. So I found my Avengers, I should say. So I went and found Mike. He built a giant Pac-Man stick. There's an article out there on the side of University of Alabama. And then he played Pac-Man on the side of on the school. So I thought that was great. I built personal relationships with them all. His wife had chemo and stuff like that. So I shared their experiences. I hired every culture. It takes people to build up things sometimes, especially properties, any property. So I say I found the key players, key individuals. I found mentors. I had Max Argel, Rambako. He pretty much was like my first mentor. Now I'm working with Danny Simon. He gave me books, teaching me how to read contracts and just understand the licensing business overall. So I say I got curious and then I kept exploring. I didn't like my work experience as much as I like entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is independence and ownership. I feel more comfortable going that route.
I love it. So, but how do you take that first jump? Like, that's the question that I think everybody asks. It's like, okay, everybody can talk about, oh, it'd be cool to own my own business someday, but then to actually do it, how do you make the leap?
See, my problem actually been my job. I have a certain demeanor people don't like. I mean, I'm fine with it. They not. I worked at JP Morgan out of school. There pretty much traded. I syndicated corporate loans. I was a trade analyst. It's pretty much three companies that run. KKR, Blackstone, Apollo. I syndicate corporate loans, all the different Fortune 500 companies, things like that. I read like Disney credit agreements, so I got real informed and things of that nature. I say the overall learning experience was decent. I just say people management was an issue. Like when certain people come from different demographics and things like that, it could get a little shaky, uncomfortable. You never know who you're working with, dealing with, stuff like that. So like people be from all different backgrounds. I think something should be implemented into all corporate companies that can fix that. I'm actually designing a blueprint that I'm gonna put out next month because that's like Dream Against business model. So we utilize the system tools to help rebuild the value communities and individuals, even like all scale. So our focus is on, how most companies got a ESG system, environmental, social, and governance. At Dream Again, we focus on ESC. We're the first like global IP firm company that focus on just the overall understanding of the process and teaching individuals. So with ESC, it stands for environmental, social, and culture. Culture is like a key blueprint. I feel like governance can be inflated, governance can be ignored, governance can turn the other cheek. But I feel like with culture as the main point and it being 100% focused, ESC will be more effective and counter a lot of things that's going on in the economy today. I was transitioning, Blackstone trading and syndicating. I actually became a brand ambassador at JP Morgan for Damon John. I was a FUBU Rise and Grind brand ambassador. So I went to booths, set up books and things like that. And I saw his blueprint. You see, I look at everybody's blueprint. People got blueprints, and everybody. I feel like if you're a business owner, you should have your own. Even learning from you, I saw how your SaaS system work and stuff like that. You got all that AI, training technology and things like that. It's pretty effective and it's fast. Like I'm like, yo, he can, like you know how fast your stuff be working sometimes. So I noticed that since we've been talking, I'm like, wow, I get curious and be like, yo, how you do that? And then I'll be like, I got my brand, I got my trademark, I'm protected, I'm copyrighted, and things like that. What can I implement? What can you teach me? I feel like full independence is like, it's cool because you can see people's creative side and how they built their systems. Warren got a pretty impressive system. People should definitely check it out. I joined a bunch of clubs and stuff like that, learning from different individuals, learning a bunch of information. After like the brand ambassador, I got more comfortable with public speaking, networking, speaking on my brand because it's mine. I should be comfortable. Right. It's a journey. It's a marathon. You got just keep going and just focus on the discipline and the small wins. Like if you try to take a big leap when you're supposed to be small steps and discipline, you can put yourself in a hole. So always try to stay informed and read things in a fine print. Another also what helped me is if anybody's a minority, the NMSDC, they have like a program. It's like a scale up program. It's actually funded in 2021. Biden, he put out executive order, pretty much giving funding to minorities like business. So Malika Patron and Darrell Johnson run that program, and other individuals. A great program. You can see sources of funding and things like that, contracts, things of that nature. I haven't touched anything yet. I'm just learning, like, I just sit in rooms and learn as much as I can. That's how I build my company. So I just see all the resources available. I feel like that help any individual trying to scale up and build as well.
So so there's a lot there.
I'm sorry. That's how I thought.
Which I love. So I want to unpack that a little bit. That's cool. So like the thing that I hear over and over and over again is you are constantly curious and constantly learning. And I also hear that you are also finding the right mentors and teachers to help you do that. And isn't it cool how people want to help?
Yeah, like Danny, he like we be talking like every week now, and it ain't weird or nothing. It's like cool, he pretty much told me his background and stuff like that. Told me like his favorite properties he worked on. Like he did Terminator. He was just telling me like the details of that. He was telling me about he did Terminator, he did a Mortal Kombat. He was just doing a bunch of properties and just telling me his whole experience and like what he learned from it, the ins and outs, net sales agreements, just everything within the contract for the most part. And he even tell me like history, like licensing, go back to like 1901. Like Peter Rabbit was like one of the first ones. Winnie the Pooh was like 1926. Betty Boop and Looney Tunes was like 1930. Like Mickey Mouse. So I'm just catching all this information. Like Detective Comics. What's that? Jerry and Joe, DC, 1932. And then, Spider-Man and 1939, Marvel and them came out. But he teach me all this. So, history important in any property that you're dealing with. So you want to know the history within the investment. So I look at everything like an investment. And the more history I know about it, the more effective and the better decision I can make, if that makes sense.
That's brilliant. I love that.
Yeah.
And then you also mentioned you're super smartly put together the right team of people. And how did you find those people?
How? LinkedIn, on TikTok, looking at different artwork, different people. Man, I was just searching. Like I could, like Kelsey and them in California. I'm in Delaware. Mike in Alabama. Mark was in Houston. Everybody's like everywhere. We got people in DC. We got Rob in Philly. Like it don't matter where they at. Technology make things accessible. I feel like it's easier to build properties now. The numbers might not make sense behind things, but it's easier to definitely be resourceful and try to figure something out. I could say, but it's definitely a more complex time versus like the 1970s or the 80s, even the 90s. Things inflated a lot, so we'll see what happens.
So tell me, on that front, I interviewed a guy yesterday, like my age, so really old, and he was talking about AI. How do you think AI is going to affect what you do or the workforce? Give me your wisdom. I'd love to hear your POV.
See, like at Dream Again, our system is like PS. Like that's like one of our signatures, like PS. It's like the heart and soul of our business. Like we are a effective company. Like we speak to all our clients like individual relationships. We don't implement too much automation. That's where the ESC come from. That's part of the culture rules, So, PS is like PS, like, PS like a letter ending, like, PS, we're going to talk to you is passion and soul. So you got passion and soul, PS, and then you got ESC, which is environmental, social, and culture. So, we're, the only brand that's doing that right now. So we really have like personal relationships with employees and individuals, our mentors. Like we try to be friends with everybody. We're a peaceful company. It's like MLK thing. I have a dream again.
I like that. Is that where that came from? I have a dream again.
Yeah, how most companies have a vertical, vertical organization chart.
Yep.
With our business model with the ESC, we go left to right. It's like a baton. because you gotta keep passing and keep it going. So it's a marathon, so you never know what team member you're gonna need. That's our mindset. I ran track, so I apply everything. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, or one of your sport. Okay, cool. What'd you run, by the way? What'd you compete in?
I ran a 400, 200, 100, 60. I was a sprinter. I was a lazy sprinter. I should have did the 800, but I do this now. I like what I'm doing, so I ain't tripping.
All right, so I like ESC. You said it a couple times, and I'm a big culture guy. How do you and I love flat organizations, by the way. Flat is good. The less levels of management you have, the better. But how did you come up with this? This is your idea. What really galvanized this for you? Like when you're like, hey, we're gonna be different.
So coming from where I came from, I started off in Section 8. That's another thing. Danny didn't even know what Section 8 is. I'm like, hell, what the fuck? Like, but when this is another reason I did it, because things scale up, like business wise, where you'll lose touch with your customers. This is where I came up with it, because certain businesses are too big to fail, and those people at the bottom, even employees, get bad treatment. Customers don't get bad treatment because the employees get bad treatment. So we take the ESC model, go left to right, we try to figure out something there. But again, I'm gonna put the blueprint out next month, so it should be good.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I love it. What's your dream like? What's your dream again? What does this look like when it's finished?
What it looks like? I don't know if I want to tell you yet. But we have a Six Barrels game, comic. That was the first game I actually started developing. So it divided all cultures on their own island, and then if you look into like the concept of the comic, you got 6 bad kids, 6 good kids, 6 good professors, 6 bad professors. They like representations of like all the individuals in any culture. It's a good side and a bad side. So it's like 12 on each animal. Go look at it, man. I don't got time. But so it's all divided cultures. When we put that game out, we want to be in a virtual world, right? And everybody fight amongst their fighting ground, and then there's one champion per barrel, and then it's one champion of the world. So it's like you fight amongst your culture, but it's actually like a building strategy. Our company is interactive, so we try to keep everything interactive. So like the big vision is keeping everybody interactive, within video games, and then go out in the real world, so it'd be like a culture buildup. That's where the C come in at. Everybody got their own culture. You should embrace it. And I feel like the best way to embrace it with everybody scattered throughout the world is through gaming.
That's cool. Yeah, you can bring everybody together on a common platform, right?
Exactly, yeah.
That's cool. So world change through gaming, not the normal path.
Yeah, I mean, gaming and comics changed the world. Like one of my favorite superheroes, like nobody even know about him. I'll give you 3 tries. I'll give you 3 tries. Who do you think my favorite superhero is?
Black Panther.
Huh?
Black Panther.
Nah, I don't like that. He alright. I don't like him.
I'm not very good at superheroes. I go.
Give me 2 more. Anybody. There's a lot of movies out, man. Come on, Marvel doing their thing.
It's not a Marvel.
It's DC, right? It could be anybody. It could be anime. It could be anything.
Smokey Bear.
Who? Nah, that ain't it. You got one more.
Let's see. I'll go with Betty Boop.
Betty Boop? Nah. I like Bugs Bunny. If we talk about Looney Tunes, if we talking about DC or Marvel, I like Blue Marvel. You know who that is?
No.
You don't know who Blue Marvel is?
I don't.
This is my favorite superhero. So he was invented back in like the 1960s. Are you familiar with that movie Underworld?
Yes. I mean,
the guy that produced that made Blue Marvel, and it was a property in the 1960s. See, you got to read and learn. I like comic books. See, I'll be into it. So he had like PhDs. He could take on like any comic force. He could be any threats and stuff like that. He was like one of the most powerful people within the Marvel universe, but he got banned in the like late, like yeah, like mid 1960s, 65, yeah, 90s, 68, yeah, 65, 68. He got banned and he no longer because they didn't want him in there no more.
Why is that?
Because he was black, yeah, like PhDs and stuff like that. He was like a positive role model, you know. But I think that also like, you know, when you look at like the history and timelines of things, like I think that goes into just like everything that was going on and things like that. So they had to get him off TV and things like that. So I don't know. I don't know. Ask Marvel.
That kind of sucks. That's kind of a bummer, actually.
Yeah, I think they should bring him back. He was like pretty. It's like the comics and stuff like that. It was pretty cool. I like him. He was cool. They should definitely bring him back. That'd be dope.
So you're like total comic book nerd, though.
I'm not a nerd. See, like I like who I like. Like I like Batman. I like everybody in Batman. Bane, Joker, Batman,
Yeah.
and I like Dragon Ball Z. I like Goku. The rest of the stuff, I really don't care for. Like it's like that's cool, but I know who my favorite people are. So you know, my favorite is Dragon Ball Z, Batman. If I go outside of that, I do like Yu Yu Hakusho and stuff like that. But it's only a few. Like I haven't watched more than probably like 6 total in my life.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, you're working all the time. You're building stuff.
Yeah, when you create and you can't focus on other stuff like that, right?
You're doing you know, you're doing these crazy memes and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, right.
So tell me, if you could give one piece of advice to someone that was going to be an entrepreneur, what would that be?
Go. You can go 30 years out. You can go 10 years out. You can go generations out. Always keep the big picture in mind and focus on your daily habits. If you don't, then I don't know where you're going to end up. But keep your environments, you know, where you controlling them and stuff like that. And, you know, focus on the good things, the positive things, and just build your dream out.
I like that. That's real. And it's funny. I like that you said earlier, have the big picture in mind, but then you got to do the day to day, right? Like you got to put one foot in front of the other. Have the big.
Yeah. Like no matter what, I think a lot of people are discouraged. You know, see, I come from, like, somebody from my neighborhood couldn't have a conversation with you because they already feel intimidated because the things that you have, the knowledge that you have, and things like that, they feel discouraged because of, you know, lack of resources. That's another reason ESC is like it's like a global thing. It's like everywhere. You know, I talk to everybody. I help everybody that I can. But you know, they wouldn't talk because they're not comfortable talking with, you know, and it's like our environment, we don't talk for real. Like they don't be trying to do all that because we don't know, you know.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I mean, some of what you're talking about is we all, you know, even old white guys sometimes feel like they have imposter syndrome, right? Like,
yeah.
Like, am I supposed to be in this room? Like, I don't have game.
You never know. But you in there, you just be like, what, you know? So that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a real thing. So, like, I think your encouragement of, hey, look, folks, I'm in here for a reason. I can hang with these people. I can bring value to the table. It might not look the same as the value of this person over here or this person over here, but I've got something to add.
Yeah, I got information. I got knowledge. Nobody gonna trump me. I don't do that. Like I hear what you're saying, but like I got information too. You know, I applied some stuff that I did. So I feel like if you build up your armor, like you can tell people get the fuck out your face. I'm gonna still build up my armor. But if you don't got no armor, nigga, don't go. I'm sorry, don't go in there.
But okay.
Hey yo, see, you got me talking regular, man. It's supposed to be an interview.
No, yeah, that's good. That's good. Keep going though. I like you building up your armor. Start there again, because that's good. That's good stuff.
Oh yeah, so like, you know, you gotta build up your armor. I'm gonna start again. This good? Ready?
Yeah.
All right, yeah, you gotta build up your armor because when you build up your armor, you have more confidence. And you know, my wife, Renee, she just put out the BSL. She a doctor, psychologist, and stuff like that. You know, using like our Twitter and the social medias as interactive tools. You know, we put out financial literacy information. She do the psychology thing. We go back and forth. You know, but that armor, it could be little things, just like reading 1 page a day or going on a walk. You know, like find your good habits and build your armor off of that and cut out the noise, cut out the distractions. I don't try to impress people, so I don't really care. But once you build your armor up, you will be more comfortable to talk about what you're doing. You know, if you're really proud of it, you know, you can go talk about it with anybody, you know, and that comes with education, financial, spiritual, physical, mental. You gotta come all five. That's what we focus on. That's ESC. We gotta focus on all five. That's the BSL. And we got the, you know, PS, you know, ESC. That's what we do. That's what we focus on. That's our passion. You know, if I don't like it, I'm not doing it. If you know, like I learned a long time ago, I wasn't the best artist. So what did I do? I went and found the best artist. I'm not. I can sketch. You know what I'm saying? I know my strengths. If I can find an ally where I can, you know, I'm cool. Like Elisa cool, Kelsey cool, Mike cool, Joe cool. Like they all implemented something. They built, you know, the console and stuff like that. You know, I paid them. You gotta invest in yourself. I invested in it. You know, your habits is where you're spending your money. You don't see me because I'm spending my money where it's going to grow. Some people I can't grow with you because you don't apply to my business model. It's nothing offensive. Like I don't care what you're doing, but if it don't apply to my business model, we live in a capitalist society. I'm not about to act stupid and think I can be social. When life is capitalism, business is socialism. This is the environment you in. If you don't like it, go to China. It's vice versa. I don't know what to say to anybody. I don't know. Like this is the life we live in. You know, the pricing of things. When I was a kid, I used to walk to the corner store, get a bag of chips for $0.25. That same bag, it's like 85 cents. Bro, that's the bag of chips. Now picture all other things that I wasn't even aware of when I was 8. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, what type of time I'm in? So that's why you need to be aware of all times and see the overall picture of what's going on so you can make better decisions. That's why you need to be informed. Because if you're not, then good luck. The 1% just passed the middle class and wealth. So that bottom is probably not even going to be here in 15. I give it 15 years. AI didn't even push out yet. Right. That bottom not going to be here. That's how inflation works. They have to transfer the wealth across seas somewhere else, and they got to be able to catch it. And they still got to balance their books over here. That's the game. Look at the bigger picture. It's a big bank. It's a big bank. And the world is playing. And it goes down to the individual level. So you as an individual in capitalism, come on, dog. You better do something. I don't know what you're going to do. You better do something. I'm real selfish with my life. I got my wife and kids, you know, like that TV show. But other than that, you know, like I can socialize with you on some business stuff. But other than that, if it's not going to apply to my business model on that day and that particular time frame, it's nothing against you, bro. I got to focus on this. This is my family. This is what's providing. This is what's feeding them. You got to get selfish like that sometimes. Some people don't got kids. You got the luxury. Go have fun, motherfucker. I don't care. You know, like I'm just telling you my situation.
Yeah. Well, it's real. I think there's something to that, and it's keeping your priorities, right? Priorities are first. Sure. Yeah. And then if you and capitalism is great if you're in the game. If you're not in the game or you don't know how to get in the game, not so great, right?
Bye.
Yeah,
that's out. The game. Like, you know, you can't, you know, like I could complain about it. I could, but I wouldn't be able to buy an Audi. I wouldn't be able to buy this house that I'm sitting in. I wouldn't buy my other property. I wouldn't be able to build this video game. What I'm gonna complain for? I don't, you know, like this is the type of environment. This is the capital of the world. You better start playing this. You know what a casino is? Welcome home. You better start gambling. Well, like it's smart investments is bad investments. Make the smart ones and talk to people that move their money smart. If they not, then watch inflation eat you up. A lot of businesses is not going to survive because of AI. See, and there's a lot of because right now, bots is at 50%. So AI is at 50% because bots is AI, right? It's tech. Yeah. So by they said 2029 is going to be at like 90%. Wow. Bro, who getting fired? Let's talk about it because I'm about to process everything. I don't need you. I can do my, I got my loyal people, this ESC. You see what I'm saying? Things are going to get smaller. Everything has to get smaller. You know, they're moving their money around through those trusts right now. Pay attention. They moving it. They moving it. Once they move it, reduce and clinch. That's what's about to happen, to clinch. We've been clinched since what, COVID? Y'all
you take the
we've been in the clinch. We just waiting for them to announce recession that's already been since 2008, but we're going to act like it didn't happen. You know, so I don't know.
Well, you take those big companies, those big three, the Blackstone and the other two, right?
Yeah.
They're making moves.
Because they own everything.
Yeah.
They literally own everything. Like, that's tough. I mean, they private equity. That's where you want to be. Private equity and ownership. I don't, you know, that every, you know, like you could say those three, but everybody's doing the same exact business model that's in business.
Tell me more about that. Tell me.
I feel like, you know, because they let everybody have fun and then they just buy you out. Come on, look at the media. Just look at media alone. They let you have fun. It's really a joke. It's really funny. Cause they like, yo, go hard, bro. You go hard. And then, I own everything anyway. Give me that back. That's called royalty, man. You gotta that's royalty. And you get, you know, it's blinded, but it's happening in every country, so it's royalty. Every country got royalty. If they don't, then it's not a country.
Right. So talk to me about, I like that you mentioned earlier about money, and you had to relearn things about money. And I've heard this before from financial, especially financial counselors, professionals like you. How do you relearn your relationship with money?
My wife, she been making me freak out, bro. Like, you know, the reason I got stuff because I hold on to stuff. You feel me? I'm tight with my money. So I had to learn, you know, when I was a kid, it was scarce. So I was tight with my money. When my mom gave me $1, that's the only dollar I had. You know what I'm saying? That's the only dollar. Some people can swipe a credit card. Some people can get cash.
Yeah.
You know, whatever your currency is your currency. But like me, was that $1. And when I had that $1 in my hand, I said, I ain't never letting it go. And that was a bad thing. See, it was good because I learned how to save. It was bad because I wasn't investing. Inflation was eating that dollar up. So I had to revisit myself as a kid. You know, my wife, she do like therapy, like hit me, you know, ask me questions and stuff like that, get me sharper. Because, you know, when I lost my mom, I was on the limbic side of my brain. I didn't develop the frontal like everybody else. That's why I'll be talking to people sometimes. I'll be like, blank. You know, I had traumatized me. You know, she's been helping me rehabilitate. You know, I don't even talk about it. She got me talking about it. And being in the limbic, like if you know psychology, she know that stuff. Like you only do 3 things: fight, flee, or run. Or fight, flee, or freeze. That's what she said. Something like that. And then I'm just like, and when I think about all the situations in my life, that's my only 3 responses. I couldn't even, this right here, this conversation, I wouldn't even do it. But that's what comes with the rural area, and that's what comes with poverty. That's what that is. If somebody's only in their limbic due to trauma, they're not, how are they going to talk to you? They can't. Bro, how can I invest if I'm in my limbic? If you start talking to me, you're a white man, I'm in my limbic, I'm going to freeze, I'm going to fight, or I'm running. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they can't talk to you, then how are you going to go anywhere with that, you know?
Yeah, no, that's good. I think that's a tough one for folks because it's like you got to hold on to the dollar, but you, as you demonstrated earlier, when you needed an illustrator, you could do it for free if you did it yourself, but you need it done right. And
I need that copyright and stuff like that. I need that first print. I need that new thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's IP. You need your own IP. I think everybody should have their own, but to each his own. Whatever you're comfortable with. I ain't saying 9-to-5s is bad, but I'm saying that they're not going to be here for much longer. Like not as much positions. Maybe if you're in like a defensive sector, you're okay. But like anything else, like media, art, and things like that, entertainment, we'll see.
We'll see. It's interesting times for sure. Um, I know one thing: we've got to be nimble, and we've got to be learning, like you mentioned earlier. Like we've got to be learning, so we can take this powerful tool, meaning AI in this case, and use it for good, not for evil. Right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I feel like everything in any environment globally had good intentions. It's just when it grew, the underlying was the issue. That's why I want to do this ESC model, because if we fix the underlying issue, it's going to catch all that stuff that's coming down. It's going to help where I come from. See, that's why I do it. When I was like 8, man, 6, 7 years old, they had me dosed up on Ritalin. I don't like medicine. Like I wasn't able. I remember. So I don't. I'm not comfortable with a lot of medicines and stuff like that, injections and things like that. That's why I like my man Blue Marble. He was like he was like everything I'm describing, he liked that. That's why they should do a movie on him. It'd be great in these type times.
I would love that. Yeah, let's get that out into the world. Let's manifest that. Blue Marble, the next movie.
Yeah, I put mine out when the time comes. I take my time, so
That's right.
Whenever we get there, I'm keeping my stuff.
I love it. All right, tell me if there's one thing you could have done differently in your entrepreneur journey, what would that have been?
Man, my cousin Kareem, my cousin Radim, my friend Mojo, Sean, like all of us, man, we was trading stocks back in like 2017, 2016, 2017. It's definitely 2017. I can go get the statement and be ashamed of myself. But I put like 20,000 on Tesla, and I was playing with margin. Man, I lost. It went up, but when it went down, I was on the option. I was just like, man, if I would have just set that bread in there till 2021, it would have been like like 2.4 mil if I just let it sit. So I had to look at it. I'm like, man, I'm gonna, it's still. I watched the news. He just set up the dumbest business model, and it's still paying. That's the problem. That's why things inflating, because people taking borrowing money and not making no profit. Like, come on, dude. Like, come on. Don't go for money if you're not gonna make profit. If it's not selling, it's not gonna sell. You can hide with all the advertisement and stuff like that. So that's why ESC. I'm gonna always get to the soul of the business. That's the ESC model. We get to the soul. I see what you're doing. I seen 60% all crypto for Trump. I seen that. I pay attention. I'm a fight. That's what I do. I see what you do. I see what you do. It's like I'm gonna build mine up. It's going to take time, but I'm gonna get there because I see what you're doing. And I like it. That's like a game, like all this financial stuff is tools. See, when you look at it as a tool, you everything is completely different. That's why I teach financial literacy, and I'm a therapist because I had to identify your issues with money. I gotta identify your issues, period. That's why I use my wife, because I be like, yo, what's wrong with them? Because I don't know. I don't. I told you where I live at, and I'm on the fight side with my company. You know what I'm saying? So. Yeah. I'd be like, yo, babe. And she'd tell me like she really just quiet, And I think like with that, it helps everything overall, like, and just identifying things. So yeah.
I like it. I can tell you one of my investments I made was I was living in Alabama actually, and I saw the market going up for beach houses. So I bought a beach condo, 3-bedroom, 2-bedroom, or bathroom, 2-bedroom on the beach, and that thing just kept going up. So you know what I did? I went and bought another one for more money. That was smaller.
Yeah, y'all lived in a different time. 1970s was the best time to buy real estate. Y'all giving us these high prices, rates not coming down, pushing us outside, saying go hard. If I ain't grab mine when I grab mine and refinance to those threes, I wouldn't be fucking with. I wouldn't even talk to y'all. I'd be upset. I'd really be upset with y'all. I don't know, but some people just trust fund babies, and then some people got the credit, and then some people got the cash. You never know what you're getting out here, so I don't know. I just know like real estate overall to me is not, you know, comics, games, and all that stuff. Art is the high, that got the best return if you get it off the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Then stocks and then real estate, they back and forth depending on who you argue with. Somebody can say I can go harder than you. So everything's an argument. So that's why we got the ESC model. We're gonna fix that, man. Stop talking like that.
In the 70s, I was only like in single digits. So I was born in 1967, so I was 13, so I didn't buy any properties.
Oh, all right, see, you good. All right, see, you on the cuff. But those people, man, even still, y'all had cheaper than us. Right now, I would not touch real estate. I don't care who you are. You gotta be sophisticated. You gotta have triple of what to go in. You gotta have triple. If you don't got triple with like credit, cash, and everything, you have to be creative with your financing now. That's why I'm a therapist, because if you're not creative with your financing, you think you can do an old school method from like the 1970s, even 2000. All right, good luck. I help people. I look at people's statements like with their taxes and stuff like that, give them advice. I be saying interest rates for like, and they pay like 14,000. I'm never paying that much for no property tax, and then you paying crazy amount on a month. Never.
Yeah,
you keep that.
Would you agree?
It's not worth it. It's not worth it. I feel like the only thing you can do now is really be outside. Grab something and rent it out, and just like. No, it's hard. It's hard. It's not the same. It's no couples no more because everything's inflated. The chips is up, bro. The chips is up. What people going to do? You going to either stay solid or you going to fold. The chips is up.
Well, so to finish my story, when I bought the second one, then the market crashed. So I made on the first one, I lost 100 on the second one. I broke even, but I really thought I was smart until I wasn't smart. I got greedy, So that's
discipline. You gotta have discipline. You gotta be very strategic in this market, especially now. Like they investigated my man on the Fed. That's crazy. He didn't even do nothing. Well, we did mess it up, but damn.
Okay. Last question. If you're gonna read something, a book or something, you're gonna watch something, what would it be to learn the most you can about building a business?
Right now, I'm reading all Danny books. He sent me like a couple books. If you go on any of my socials, they right there, licensing and stuff like that. I read most of the stuff I just told you today. That's just because I read 2 chapters. You see what I'm saying? Wow. Like about the licensing, you see how much that was just me reading 2. I read a chapter a day with his books because I really want to know it. So it's like all that licensing information, like they go all the way back to the Roman Catholic. Like I didn't know it, and I'm just like, wow, it opened my eyes. A lot of stuff. So it's pretty cool.
That's brilliant. Well, hey, Andre, I knew this was going to be fun, and it was. I'm not disappointed. But I just, thank you for having a vision. Thank you for changing the world to make it a better.
I'm trying. I ain't changed nothing yet. I'm trying. I change an individual by the day. I ain't changed the world. The world, that's for Superman. That's the Detective. That ain't me.
One at a time.
I'm ESC,
Yeah, I love what you're doing, and I really thank you for the time. And I just know you're going to continue to do awesome things. So, it's been my pleasure.
All right, thanks, Lauren. I appreciate you having me on, man.
Absolutely. Anytime.
I'm definitely going to look into that program too. I like that SaaS business model. Everything I've been seeing so far, they like automatic with it too. I like that. And they tell me everything. I like what you do.
It's very kind of you. I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day.